the sun is here. Yes, perfect timing. So hi everyone, welcome back, Samuel here. Welcome back to another video. I thought I would do a spontaneous first impression of the GFX100RF. I just bought this camera because I'm rich. No. This is Lorenzo's camera. He got it on loan from Fujifilm. And
we don't get to keep it.
We don't need to say that. If it's on loan, we don't need to say we don't get to keep it. Obviously, we don't get to keep it. So he just started using it and getting to know it. And I was seeing him, discovering, how it feels to use it. And I had my opinions on this camera. I talked about it in my Street Life show, on my live stream. But now having it in my hands, seeing what Lorenzo does with it, seeing how responsive and fast it is, I think I'm getting a different picture of this camera. And today we are out here in Abruzzo, which has this beautiful landscape behind us. Around us are the mountains. And today he brought this camera and I brought my tiny APS-C Ricoh GR4, which is fine, right? It's a great camera. But here, surrounded by these mountains that are so far away and sheep that is so far away, it's kind of nice to have a camera that can be cropped quite a lot because we have 100 megapixels here. To be honest, for street photography, I find this overkill still. But to bring it on a trip like this, it's kind of perfect. You just need to bring one camera. It's weather sealed, right?
I think it's weather sealed, but you have to add like the Fujifilm X.
Yeah, you have to add a filter, which is fine. And it's super light. Yeah, my first impression, super light camera. I like that it is taller because when I hold it, my small finger is not, it's a bit here, but I could also have it here. It feels very comfortable. It would be nice to have something like a little thumb rest here, right? But it still feels good because it's light and the viewfinder is good. It's big. And actually I have to turn it on and remind myself how it feels because I haven't used it since yesterday. And what surprised me was how not medium format like it feels in terms of, taking time to write the data onto the card. It's fast. It feels like an X100 camera.
Yeah, I'm using a normal SD card.
Normal SD card. So it's a 35mm lens on a more than full frame sensor, right? Because it's not like the big medium format sensor. It's like something between the medium format we know from film, like 120mm film, but it's bigger than full frame. So 35 here is 28 in full frame terms. And that's a focal length I really enjoy. And Lorenzo uses 80mm on crop a lot. And then you have this so you have this to switch between the different frame lines modes or how to show the crop mode, which is also very cool. I love how they're giving us the frame lines so that you can see outside of the frame. But if you don't want that, you can also have a cropped in viewfinder. So you have a higher magnification. But actually, I think I would use this with the frame lines.
Instead, I will prefer without the frame lines.
Yeah, Lorenzo prefers it like cropped in. But it kind of reminds me, of the M rangefinder, the Leica M rangefinder. And speaking of IBIS, because this has no IBIS, and I thought, how can they make a medium format camera f4 lens without IBIS? It's stupid. But it would have been bigger if they would do it, right? Bigger, heavier, more expensive. And actually when we went inside a church, I don't know if you want me to show it. Yeah. I think it was a cool photo. He took a photo inside, ISO 3200, I think, 250th of a second, which is very fast. You can even, freeze some motion. And it looked very clean. Without noise reduction even, it looks very clean. And I also tried it. We were out having some drinks. And I was able to shoot a 30th of a second. Below that, I felt like I was getting some blurry shots. With this camera, I can shoot like almost a second without getting blurry shots, but it's APS-C. And faster shutter speed has benefits in street photography. If you want to freeze the action, it's actually good to be able to have a faster shutter speed. So yeah, this is not going to be a comprehensive review. I thought we should talk about this camera while we are having it here. And I want also Lorenzo to talk a bit about his experience and maybe share some photos. We just took a photo here of a father and a son playing football for a quick snap behind the fence. It was kind of nice. So what do you think about this camera? Maybe let's stand next to each other and talk about it.
To be honest, I don't want to be biased, to seem biased.
because I'm a Fujifilm user. And I never tried any other medium format or similar to medium format camera. I'm liking it a lot, and I can't wait to bring it with me in Korea. What I like is that, of course, how easy it is to handle, how light it is, that I know everything about this system, of course, how to change shutter speed. I shoot most of the time also in manual.
Yeah.
So I change the settings on the fly. I like a lot the fact that I can crop in, so I can bring one lens, one camera, not so many lenses with me. I'm light. I love the image quality. So far, I'm really liking it. Yes, double also SD cards, which is cool. The big battery from Fujifilm.
Yeah.
Of course, the elephant in the room is the price. I don't know if I can have the budget at the moment to buy it. And I never spend so much money for a camera. So I'm not the kind of person, no? I see something in it. I'm tempted.
Yeah. You're still getting to know
Yeah,
it.
just yesterday was the first time using it out in the street.
How was that, using it in the street?
Honestly, it seemed like, for me, coming from Fujifilm, I didn't have so much things to get used to it, no? Because
You didn't need to adjust.
not so much. It is 4:3 aspect ratio. Actually, it's something that I'm really appreciate. I think it's less dynamic than 3:2, but it's more autorial. I don't know.
Editorial?
Autorial. I don't know. Autorial. I don't know.
I don't know the word.
Like it's more, I would say professional, but it has another feel. The image doesn't slip away immediately. It's more solid, the image. It seems like the composition are more solid.
You have more headroom?
Yeah, you have more headroom, yeah. Now my mind is, should I buy it? Should I take it? Of course, I'm going to use it a little bit more before taking this decision, which probably will never come to a decision. I mean, the image delivers.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of made for a photographer like you.
Yeah.
If
Why?
you shoot 28 primarily.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And you stopped down.
I started with the exactly.
You don't need
I don't need bokeh so much, but the bokeh out of the 4 aperture is really good. I mean, why you need more bokeh?
It gives you a little bit of three-dimensionality.
Yeah.
The photo you showed, you took in the church was f4 probably.
Yeah, probably yes.
And the background was blurry a bit.
But not so much blurry.
You saw the figure in the background, but it looked nice.
Yeah.
We talked about this. It felt like a 35 because it is a 35.
Yeah.
Right? But it has the compression of the 35. I know every time I say this, people in the comment section say it's not really like the compression of a 35 or it's a 28 or something like that. But if it feels different, it feels different. You know, you can say, yeah, the math is like this. But actually, you use crop sensors a lot, 80mm.
Yeah.
And you notice that the 80mm crop feels more stretched.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And this feels more normal focal length.
And I want to stress this thing, like for street photography, that we do, the street photos that we do, oftentimes I shoot everything in f11, no?
Yeah.
So I don't need bokeh so much in my life. And this is kind of the X70 on steroids. Which X70 was my first camera, so I'm a sentimental attachment to this.
A little bigger.
A little bigger. Yeah, of course, a little bigger, but kind of the focal length is what I'm used to. So it seems made out for me.
And what about resolution? Can you use different resolutions on this camera? Or you always have to use 100 megapixels?
Good question. I don't know.
But if you would be able to use different resolutions...
Probably I would be enough 50 megapixel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even then you can crop a lot.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if you have that option. I'm also not sure.
We'll let you know later.
Have you ever printed your photos huge? What is the biggest size you printed?
50 by 90.
50 by 90. Okay. Yeah, that's actually very big. And would you
Yeah.
print higher, bigger with
No,
this?
I felt like with my APS-C 26 megapixel sensor, I could feel that it was a stretch to print. So I could notice the quality of the print. So the question was?
Yeah, the question was if you would print even bigger if you would use this from now on. I mean, would you print bigger?
There should be a reason to print bigger, to see details and to get close to the print. Or instead you're making a really huge exhibition in the city like our friend Josh at Goose Spicy Meatballs did. That makes sense.
That's very highly unlikely that we will print this big often. It was like building size big, exactly. Which was super cool. But you know, when you print building size big, you can use very low resolution because you're looking at it from a long distance. Yeah, but if you crop a lot, and I have friends who use 100 megapixel cameras, they use it to photograph like texture, and then they make like art out of it. You know, they compose, make collages.
Yeah, I would say this. Maybe you can show the photo that I printed in 50 by 90. If I had this camera, it would be nice. Yeah, but it's too late. This image has sense to be printed bigger in bigger format and with a bigger sensor because you can see so many details within the image. You know, instead of most of the work that I do as a street photographer, you don't have that need to print that big for me. This is my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very hard to justify big print.
Yeah,
it's expensive to print. I think if someone would pay me to print this big, of course. Yeah. But it is a lot of money to print big. I guess it's always nice to know that you could print very big. But
I always also lean to this. Like if I would rather have a tool that allows me to have more option. No, but in terms of archiving my work with this 100 megapixel, it can be kind of something to think about on the long term. Because my JPEGs that I exported yesterday were 100 megapixel JPEGs, 94 and 178. So.
And if you're very selective with your work, like I know you're very selective, maybe you don't end up with a lot of photos. But with this one, you have to kind of be selective.
Also, like not always I copy all my RAWs files. When I had problem with archive disk, I used to archive only the RAWs of the file that I select as an image that I think was good. And probably with this camera I will go back to this system. I will archive only the image that I select and some others before and after that shot, you know, but not the entire CD like I do now, which honestly sometimes I feel weird to archive all the shots of the CD card, but it's more safe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm still impressed. I'm casually taking photos of you, of the background, and it's, you know, very short screen blackout. I mean, it's super fast. Yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk to the camera. I was just taking photos here while he was talking, and I'm so impressed how fast it is. And when this first was announced and I saw the introduction presentation, I felt like, oh, the black version looks so cool. I really like how it looks in black. Yeah, me too. Also, the lens hood is really nice, and yeah, I like that it's taller. It feels more like square almost, and it's a nice focal length. You know, 28 is versatile, and you can crop. I wish they would have also 40mm frame lines. That would be really tempting. And this is actually the only Fujifilm camera currently where I think, it could be a camera like to have for a long time. Yeah, it's cool. That's all I can say. It's really cool.
What about so for the time? I think like don't buy the first iteration of the camera. No, let them develop a little bit further and fix the mistake that.
What is the mistake? Or what would you want to see improved?
No, because already it is true that this is already the maximum that we can get, 100 megapixel. I wouldn't ask for 200 megapixel, no? So maybe I was asking for 50 megapixel, you know, kind of...
improve it by reducing the...
You know, kind of... What I would improve? It would be really nice to have, like, real viewfinder, live viewfinder, no?
OVF, you mean?
OVF, yeah. It would be so cool looking to have the aesthetic of a 100
Yeah.
6. And probably this is maybe a better joystick because it's a little bit hard to. I like the arrows, you know, but this is more good
You
looking.
only have the joystick here. You don't have
this.
the arrow keys.
This is, of course, better good looking. Honestly, yeah, there is so much customization that you can do also. So for me, this is more than enough, more than full frame. So it's already at the. I think it's already at the maximum. The autofocus is good, like the same as I have on my XM5.
XM5?
M5. So yeah, that's it. Maybe I want a downgrade, like a 60 megapixel. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
If they can make it, maybe they can make a 50 megapixel version like the other video format cameras. They have 150, and then make a 50, but not making the autofocus less or something, but just a smaller resolution version. Because medium format has other benefits like low light and color depth. So, yeah, I think we cannot say more about it. If we have some cool photos to show before this video comes out, maybe we share some photos here.
And maybe I can send you some photo from Korea.
Oh yeah. Okay, nice. Good idea. So yeah, he's going to Korea with this camera. Really jealous. Have fun. And we can show some photos here, if you want. Cool.
So I can test it a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to continue our little road trip back to Rome. And yeah, check out the other videos we did on this channel. Check out Lorenzo on Instagram, Lorenzo Catena. And anything you want to say?
Come to Abruzzo.
Yeah, come to Abruzzo. It's beautiful, really good food.
Yeah, really good food, really nice people, beautiful landscape. Yeah, it's worth.
Yeah. No people, but it's really pretty.